This is the purest, real-life hunting show you will watch. The ups, the downs, the work, the family, the friends, the excitement. You will see it all. It's what we do. It's who we are. What we dream about 365 days a year. We are County Line Outdoors 365.
In this episode, I'm going to be hunting a deer I called Tex. As a 2 and 3 year old, I don't recall ever seeing him or having a picture of him that I remembered. As a 4 year old, I had a few pictures of him. I don't think I ever had a daylight of him. I had one of him on a scrape there up in the fall a little ways. And then as a 5 year old, he showed up August the 10th. I'd had a camera up there for about 2 weeks on the edge of a milo field, and I had 2 pictures of him that morning on that camera there on the edge of that milo. And I knew he's a pretty good deer. The deer disappeared there. I had them pictures of him in August the 10th, I believe it was. And I never had another picture of him again until October the 11th, about 3/4 mile away on the edge of a bean field on a social scrape there. Every year you get lots of deer that travel through there on that scrape, and I had a picture of him there October the 11th. And I believe he was there again the 12th, but he disappeared on me again. And it went on till October the 22nd. And Caden, he had killed a deer there on that food plot where that social scrape was the 5th of October. And so we just kind of laid out of there, and I was waiting, until things got right to get in there. And I went in on October the 26th. I went in to hunt this deer and target him back up where I'd had the daylights of him on top above. And the first set in, I encountered him. Well, that night I seen him there. He was 40 yards, and he ended up coming up closer to me there, but it was dark. I'd grunted, and he just didn't pay much attention to me at all, and I was losing camera light fast. And he ended up coming up closer to me, which if it was daylight, I still couldn't have shot him anyway, but that's beside the point. And I went in the next day and moved that stand. There was a trail down there farther down that he walked, so I moved that stand down the ridge 50 to 60 yards and then down the hill about 20 yards. And I waited 3 days and we went up there and got in that stand. And I took my cousin Bennett with me to video. He was wanting to go video, and it makes it a lot easier, without videoing yourself. So I called him. I said, hey, I'm gonna go back in after Tex tonight if you want to go. Sure enough, he ready to go. So we jumped in the truck and head up there, and we crawl in the stand. Well, we're in the tree. I got Bennett with me and thought it was only fitting to have him come over while he's making this hunt and this video. We get in the tree, and it was 30 minutes maybe? Probably 30 minutes. Bennett, he turned there to me and tapped me on the shoulder, and he said, hey, he's a pretty good buck coming. He said he's gonna walk right underneath us. And that was the deer you've seen there. He walked 15, 20 yards.
Maybe, probably closer.
And I believe that deer was a 4-year-old deer, and we called him the Big Seven, and he's still around, and you're going to see some more of him here before long. But that deer, he come through there, and actually we could just hear him soft grunting as he walked by, and just barely could hear him, even though he was 15 yards or whatever he was there. And he went on down, and we was talking about that deer, and maybe we should have shot him. He was a 4-year-old, we believed him. But whatever the case, it went on about 30 minutes. But Bennett turned around and tapped me on the shoulder again. And what did you see that time, Bennett?
A lot bigger of a deer.
A lot bigger of a deer. He turned around and he said, "There is a giant coming right to us."
Are you on him? Are you on him? Are you on him?
Yeah.
You on him? Swing around to this side of the tree. Swing around that side of the tree.
I turned around there and sure enough, there's Tex coming right down the hill. He's coming right to us. And Bennett was videoing and I was bow in hand waiting to give him the meh. And I was saying, "Bennett, are you on him?" And he's saying, "Nope." And I said, "Are you on him?" "Nope." So I let this deer walk through wide open shooting lanes, and he was 25 yards, I think it was. I didn't range him. I knew it was a top pin shot, and he was walking down through there, and finally I stopped him and I told Bennett, he said, "Well, he's behind some brush now," and I told him to swing around the tree, and try to come around the other side of the tree and see if he could get on him there. And by the time he got swung around, he turned and walking down the hill there again. And we was so close there, but it didn't happen. We got back to the truck, and we was talking about just having a cool encounter, and it's just having deer close like that, especially your target buck. You've hunted him, been in there twice, and it don't always happen that way that you encounter that deer within bow range the first 2 times you hunt him. We got back to the truck and was talking about that and stuff, and I grabbed the camera and was going to look back at the big 7, and I grabbed the camera. That 7-pointer is a pretty good deer. He could blow up next year. I don't know. He could be 4. I think he is 4. You got good footage of him.
You could kill him easy.
Oh my gosh. How did you not see him? You said you wasn't on him.
I was on him, I just thought it was too brushy.
No. I mean, that's wide open. Oh my Lord. You dipstick. Now, if you got footage like that, I mean, we're killing him. If we video anymore, if you got footage that good, just say, "Yes, I'm on him." You dipstick. I wanted to choke him at the time, but I forgive him now. So that's just part of trying to get these deer on video. It's hard enough to kill one, and it makes things so much tougher, trying to get good video of them and put it all together. But the story of Tex isn't over yet. It's November the 15th, rifle season here in Missouri. Wind's blowing pretty hard tonight. I actually had to turn the microphones way down and turn my top mic off because it was just so you couldn't hear nothing. But we're on a big wheat field right here. It's just fresh coming up wheat. I know there's some good bucks right here in the area. I've encountered one of these bucks 3 different times. Twice I had him within 25 yards of the bow. I've never even got to shoot at him, but the deer we call Tex. Maybe this evening he'll come out here and I got the rifle. I was going to bow hunt tonight, but my bow stand that I think I would kill him out of is about 150 yards down in the timber here, and I was late getting here. Had stuff to do today, so I just slid in here in the rifle blind and Maybe he'll come in up in here with a doe, so we will see what happens. I got in the blind and I seen a doe and two fawns come out there. Oh, just right after I got in the blind. It was early yet, and I never seen another deer, and and it was getting pretty late, pretty quick. And the landowner, he texted me and he said, "Hey, I see that big buck. He's coming up here below the house." Well, below the house where he was looking at him is across a great big field. It's a half to 3/4 of a mile to where I'm sitting. He'd text me and tell me he had seen this deer, and he said he's going into your food plot into the bottom, and I had a camera on that food plot. It's actually the one where the scrape is, and where I always get pictures of the bucks there. And I thought, well, there's no way. I've got, I think it was 15 minutes until the end of shooting time I had there. And the landowner's been texting me. He's seen the buck I'm here after. He's about a half a mile from here in the bottom. He said he's coming this way on a string. Said he got his head down on a mission. We got about 15 minutes of shooting light left, so we better hurry up. And then it gets so dark and it's blinding the camera so quick, it's hard to do anything. Maybe we may get lucky and that deer walk up here. Because if he comes the way he says he does, he'll hit this holler and come out right here on this trail. Right here. And I'm watching. I know what trail this deer's coming out of. It's the same trail I'd seen him on there twice in the timber there in a bow hunt. And I'm watching. I've got the camera on, ready to roll, and it's going to be down to the last couple minutes of shooting time. And finally, I see him. He just pops out right there at the cedars where you seen them does there earlier. And I look at the camera. I know I ain't got good camera light. I look at the shooting time. I had 2 minutes of shooting time left. And I don't have a lot of footage of him, but I've got prior footage. And thanks to Bennett here, we got some really good up close, good broad daylight video of the deer. That's him. That's Tex. That's Tex. He's gonna walk out right here underneath them cedars. Smoke, baby. 2 minutes of legal shooting time left right there. The landowner texted me and said, "Hey, big buck coming up the holler. He's coming your way. He's on a mission." Right there he is. Walked out 75 yards dead. Thank you, Lord. Oh, baby. This here is Tex. Right here. Big 5.5-year-old mature deer. Last year he had a G4 on this side, and he had one here and it's broke off. And then he added two on over here on his left. I've encountered this deer twice in the stand this year bow hunting, and just wasn't able to get it done. And then I seen him one other time walking in, me and Caden did. But tonight, I had the 30-06. I prefer the bow, but I had to work today and late getting there.
Didn't want to try to get into the timber to the stand, and I'm glad I didn't because there were some does bedded right there. I seen them stand up this evening and walk out. But the landowner texted me and told me he seen this deer in the bottom. Within 15 minutes, he covered almost a half a mile and walked out on top where I was at tonight. Crossed the gravel road and everything. So I guess when it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. So, but thank you, Lord, for this deer. I am very, very pleased with him. He's got big old bladed brow tines, and we have had one heck of a 2017 season. Thank you, Lord, for blessing me again with a big, mature Missouri whitetail.
Well, you've seen the hunt there, and it's not the best footage. I had 2 minutes of shooting time left, very little camera light left, but we had, good footage of the buck, a couple encounters before and stuff like that. And the deer was known to here and gone. He may be here a couple days and then gone for a couple weeks, and I wasn't going to let him go, so I killed a deer there that night. But thanks to Bennett, we had lots of good footage of him in the daylight there. You've seen where he didn't have him on camera, and he was wide open, 25 yards, strutting around, just waiting for an arrow to go through him. But after that hunt with Bennett there, I can tell you what I figured out. He's a catch and release hunter. He likes to trap, and I think that's what he does. He just likes to set the trap for the deer and then release them. So, but that's just part of it. The deer, we got him killed. You see, it's made a good story. We hope you guys enjoy this. And if you need a good cameraman, call me, and I'll tell you who not to hire. Please like and share this. Be watching for more videos coming soon.